Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show on Radio John Dew. We're so excited to have another fantastic interview today. We have a photographer and model. She is quite amazing in her talents, and please welcome Julia Mindar to the show. How are you doing today, Julia?
Hi, Nikki. Thank you so much. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Amazing.
Awesome. So why don't you just let us know, how did you get started with everything?
Well, I was creative since I was a little kid. My parents sent me to an art school, and to be honest, I did not know that I'm going to be doing what I was doing because I was a stubborn child, and actually I decided to go ahead and went to finance school because I didn't want to be like a starving artist or like be considered as like not very smart being a model. So I was rejecting that path for a while. But while I was studying my university, I started to have all the opportunities and the modeling jobs and started to meet all the creative people and work with them. Meanwhile, I got my first camera and I started shooting myself. So basically, I combined both of my passions and was working a lot. And I was studying my finance, so it was quite a challenge to combine all that. But with time, I've started to get better and better in photography. I built my modeling portfolio, so I get more and more jobs. So when I was studying, I was living in Poland, and a few years ago, I moved to United States, and I live in Los Angeles now currently, and I think that also made me work more in that area because all the creative people are here, and you just cannot avoid doing those things because it's a perfect place to do that.
Yeah. Wonderful. So now Poland to LA, and you're in the midst of all this creative energy. Your career is taking off as a model and photographer. And how has your life been transformed through it all, through this journey?
Oh, you know what? I can't even tell if it's my work transforming me or maybe that's LA because it's a very hard city to be. And I think being able to be on the both sides of modeling and photography gives me a lot of opportunities to grow and see differently.
Yes.
And it's transforming my life by making me maybe a much wiser and stronger person. And by helping me and giving me the opportunities to meet all kinds of different people here, different artists, different talents, and that's priceless because that's what changing your life, all the people that you meet.
Exactly. And not only are they transforming your life, Julia, but you're transforming theirs, right? Definitely. So it's a wonderful creative collaboration, which is really a beautiful journey. And I was also thinking, too, like you have the perspective of a photographer. So when you're being asked to model, you must be very aware of your angles and lighting. It must make your modeling work a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yes, photographers love working with me as long as it's sometimes funny because sometimes I work with like fresh photographers, new or like even not fresh, maybe experienced. But when I say that I'm a photographer, they get like, oh, now I'm scared to shoot you. And the same thing happens with photography. He's like, oh, are you a model? Because like when I'm modeling, people not necessarily know I'm a photographer, but when I shoot, they're like, oh, are you a model yourself? I'm like, well, yeah. Yeah. And then they like, I think maybe in modeling it helps more because she knows what to do. She does it herself, so she can tell me what's best to pose, and like I help them, and they like trust me. Yes, absolutely. So that's interesting.
It is. And what would you advise people who are pursuing a dream? I mean, I hear that you took a risk and you just went for it. What would you advise someone who's thinking about doing the same thing?
Just try and do and never give up. Being a photographer is challenging. I see a lot of other photographers talking about the same thing. For example, even very successful photographers get to the point when they're not happy with their work, because now with all the social media, you constantly see so many beautiful artists and so much beautiful work, and you cannot not compare yourself to that. And that's what's killing the creativity, because you're trying to be as somebody else. Yes, that's good to be inspired by somebody else's work, but do not compare yourself to others. You are you, and you have to create your own style, your own vision, and work on that. And just never give up, as I said in the beginning, because sometimes it's challenging and it's hard, and you start to say like, oh, I hate all my work. Just take a break, deep breath, and just do your thing.
Awesome. Well, those are really wonderful words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Julia. And where can people find you on social media?
Well, of course, as nowadays, you can find me on Instagram. It's Julia Mindar Photo. And there you can find in my bio links to my, I have a few different pages for like kids headshots, because I do headshots as well, and to my website. And for modeling, it's just Julia Mindar, without any extensions.
And that's Julia, Julia, Mindar, Mindar. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, awesome. Well, Julia, it's been an inspiration listening to your story. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. We do appreciate it. And please, all the listeners, check out Julia's wonderful profile on social media. She's beautiful and talented. So just hit her up, send her a message, hire her, follow her. And we wish you all the best, Julia, on your journey. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Likewise. All the best. Chat soon.
Have a good day. Bye.